guys, it's Leandra and I'm here with another Shadowhunters review. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 3, Episode 3, What Lies Beneath. So overall, I really did enjoy this episode. I think that I enjoyed the second episode, so that was the previous episode, a tiny bit more just because I thought it was a bit more humorous. As always, there will be spoilers on this review. One of the most interesting things that, at least for me, being someone who's read all of the books, is the fact that Simon has no idea what kind of mark is on his forehead. We can obviously see the kind of aftermath of Simon kind of hurting the werewolf unintentionally, and this whole entire way that the show is dealing with this is actually quite interesting. In the book, we basically know from the beginning what kind of mark it is. I'm not going to specifically say what mark it is because there might be some people watching who haven't read the books, but it's a very interesting concept because in the Shadowhunter community, this mark, in the book at least, is a very kind of famous thing, and it's interesting how the show is kind of putting its own spin on it in a sense that no one knows what the mark is, no one knows where it comes from, no one really gets what's going on, and so I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this. Clary told Simon that it might be more of a vampire thing. Knowing what it is, I don't think I can agree, but I'm interested to see whether it really does have maybe vampiric origins in the TV show. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. I have to say that this episode was actually quite sad, especially in terms of Raphael and Rosa. You know that one scene where we see Raphael kind of talking to Rosa for one last time and telling her that, you know, her brother was actually saying goodbye to her. It was really touching. It really made me cry. It really made me tear up. And then obviously I cried like that much more when, you know, we find out that Rosa is dead. It's just something that I don't really have in the show a lot, you know, scenes that really make me cry, but this scene, it really made me cry, and I just want to say kudos for that. It was very, very heartfelt and emotional. I'd be really interested to see whether Rosa's might come back in some way, because as you know it, the Shadowhunter world is full of supernatural forces, so it wouldn't surprise me if we would see her again as maybe a ghost or even a vampire. And obviously this time we get to see Heidi after, you know, becoming a vampire. As we know from season 2, Heidi is a young girl who was actually saved by Raphael in the previous season, and he kind of helped her become a fledgling and helped her out in her first couple of days. But we can see that she's sort of going a bit savage, and we also know now that that is what Raphael needed the tranquilizing kind of liquid for. It seems like she's a blonde vampire who's kind of going out of control. I'd be interested to see whether Heidi is going to be taking the role of Maureen from the books, which is actually kind of weird because they did actually include a Maureen in the TV show in the very first season, who we never really got to see again because she was part of Simon's band. So yeah, I'd be interested to see whether Heidi's going to take on that role and kind of do the stuff that Maureen did in the books, because she's definitely got that kind of vibe to her. So I know that we're definitely not done with her, and I'm also very interested to see where they're gonna go with this. That scene where Alec was trying to cook for Mayrus and Magnus was kind of helping him, that was probably the best scene from the entire episode. It was so funny. I thought it was just absolutely hilarious. You know, the way that Alec was just really struggling trying to cook this thing for his mom, and then it turned out to be absolutely disgusting, and Magnus had to sort of save it, and then in the end Alex sort of realizes that his mom didn't actually really like it to begin with. That was just so funny. I absolutely love this humor that the show writers are putting into the show. There isn't that much humor in the books. Like, obviously there is some humor, mostly from Simon and Magnus as well, but I really like this kind of extra comedic side that the scriptwriters have actually added into the show, and I really appreciate it. I think that is just something that they've really done well. It is an act of creative liberty that I really can fully stand behind, and overall it just delivers great lines and makes it really funny. And then obviously Mayrus drops the kind of bomb where she talks about her being stripped from her runes, and I was just like, what is actually going on? Because, you know, in the books we do have a lot of mention of like being stripped of your runes and the kind of repercussions of that, and the fact that you're going to be exiled from like the Shadowhunter community, and it just completely shocked me that the show writers added that in. They did kill Jocelyn off, which was already like a really big move, and in my opinion kind of like a no-go if you're comparing it to like the book and source material. You can't really just kill off a character. That's just really weird. I'm really interested to see whether it's actually gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, being stripped of your marks is a really serious thing in the books. You know, when Alec was just kind of like, oh yeah, so, you know, we'll see you around. Not really, because in the Shadowhunter world, or at least in the world that Cassie wrote about in the books, when you get stripped of your marks, you basically don't belong to the Shadowhunter community anymore, and you are not allowed to have any contact with your Shadowhunter family or your Shadowhunter friends. Like, there is just no contact anymore. So yeah, I don't think that the show writers have any kind of idea what kind of serious and powerful thing that is to be exiled by your community, and I definitely hope that they don't actually go that route, because that would really be unfaithful to the kind of standards that Shadowhunters have in their world. So yeah, I really hope it doesn't happen. So there are two more things that I want to mention. First of which is that I'm really appreciating how they're dressing Clary. I remember the first season she had on like really strange clothes that didn't really match her personality, but I feel like they're bringing out her personality more and more. I really liked her hairstyle in this episode, especially when she was going into the club. I really liked the kind of 2 strands of hair and the braid in the back, and I also really liked her outfit. I think that she and Izzy just make this wonderful dream team. It was awesome seeing them fight together, and this is just something, again, that I really love that the show writers did. They really brought out this friendship between Clary and Izzy and just made it into something really great, and I really love that. And last of all, I cannot believe that Jace is the owl. Like, holy shit! I had no idea. That was such a shock for me. Obviously, reading the books, I should have sort of known that Jace would have been a potential candidate, but I just was so shocked because I did not have any clue that he was gonna be the one who, you know, would be the night owl. Like, that is so crazy. Obviously, we know that because of the way that he was acting around Clary and around himself. We can obviously figure out that he's not doing this from his own will. It seems like he's possessed in a specific way. Obviously, the people who've read the books will know why he's acting this way, but I think that they're playing this out really well, and it was a really, really big shocker even to me. So kudos. Really. So that concludes my review for season 3, episode 3 of Shadowhunters. Please let me know what your favorite scene from this latest episode was. Are you enjoying the 3rd season so far? What are your predictions for what's gonna happen? So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!